Welcome to another episode of Apex Legends Deep Dive, and today's legend is Octane.
By the time you see me coming, I'll be going, and you'll be gone.
On today's episode, we will be looking at all the perks and details for Octane and how you can use them in-game. And before we begin, I would just like to say, if you're here watching this video, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking the time in your day to check it out. If you would like, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my content, and also leave a like on the video if you are enjoying this series of Apex Legends Deep Dive. Enjoy. All right, so as mentioned before in my previous episode, Octane is in the Skirmisher class range, which means he can also reveal care packages for your teammates and yourself when they come into play. I would like to mention again, while this class ability does sound kind of useless in my opinion, it would help in situations where you want the specific weapon in the care package, or if you want awareness of who took the weapon from the care package. This will also give you insight that a team is near. But other than that, I really don't see much need for this ability, but it is up for debate, of course, so keep that in mind. All right, so let's do an introduction of Octane's abilities. Octane has a passive called Swift Mend. This passive allows you to automatically restore health over time. So after avoiding damage for 6 seconds, you will start regenerating at 1 HP per second. Now, I do remember, I do not remember at the moment, but I believe this was much faster in previous seasons. I don't remember 100%. I think the regen was a little bit higher because I do remember Octane being used, or I could be wrong. Maybe it was regenning slower. Don't remember. Maybe someone can remind me in the comment section. Let me know. As for his tactical, it is called STEM. This allows increased walk speed by 30% and sprint speed by 40% for 6 seconds. It does cause HP to use. I believe you are using 20 HP each time you call it in. Every time you use it, the cooldown is only 1 second, so it can be used pretty quickly. There is a reduction of any type of slow effects while it's active as well. Now, this is where managing your health will come into play 100% when you're playing with Octane. You cannot kill yourself, so if you keep using the stems and you keep using it constantly, you'll be at 1 HP all the time. If you keep using the stem, you'll never kill yourself. You'll just be at 1 HP. So no matter what fight you get into, you'll get knocked automatically with no chance. So obviously you don't want to be at 1 HP the whole time. But yeah, just keep an eye on your health and manage how you can use your stem in the right situation without leaving yourself too weak where you cannot fight. Octane is a movement character for any player who loves to flank teams or be able to fight and outmaneuver their opponent. So that's a great character for anybody that likes to play in that style. So combining this with your passive and your tactical, combining them are a crucial part of playing with Octane. Just keep that in mind as well. So obviously if you use your stem and you use that passive which regenerates your health, there is a way to combine it in a good way where you can really maneuver your health. His ultimate is called Launchpad. This basically lets you deploy a launchpad that catapults anyone through the air. I mean, if you've already played Apex Legends, you should know that this launchpad, you see it all the time, or you see people jump on it, you know. So also while you are using the jump pad, you can press jump again to gain an extra jump. That was added later on. Previously when Octane was released, this was not the case. It was literally just one, and I think it was worse. I think the jump pad was even worse. So it has been tweaked over time as well. So when they added this extra jump, if you ever played Titanfall, this is the double jump that you got from using your abilities in Titanfall. And so you basically have an extra jump while you're in the air. The cooldown for these launch pads are 1.5 minutes. Now, just keep this in mind. Of course, this was also tweaked as well. But when using the launch pad, you have to remember there are 2 ways to use the launch pad effectively, right? So if you slide or crouch into the launch pad, you will fly in the air in a horizontal direction. So lower time in the air but further distance. And if you use it while you're standing or walking, you'll get more verticality instead. So you get more air time, but you won't get horizontal direction. You're not going to go as far basically. So always keep that in mind when using the launch pad. Another thing you could do with the launch pad is you could throw grenades off the launch pad as well, and any other type of throwable. So caustic traps, the dog drone, Gibby's dome, Maggie's wrecking ball can bounce off of it, or just some examples. And pretty interesting. I really don't see that much. I haven't seen it, at least me personally, but I have thrown grenades off of it, and it's a sight. It's funny to see just the nade just fly over, right? The launch pad is great for escaping and quick rotations while you're in a match. So just keep that in mind. That it's great to get out of situations as well. And also you are pretty difficult to hit while you're in the air, but with some practice, you could gain the advantage over your opponent as you can shoot and throw grenades while you're in the air while using the launch pad. So I believe it is a little, I mean, obviously the real good players, they already know the trajectory of the launch pad, but you could obviously learn to be in the air and shoot them as well. So keep that in mind. That's just another idea to have while you're using the launch pad. All right, so let's take a look at level 2 upgrades for Octane. Option 1, thick skin. Take 25% less damage from stem. This perk allows you to take less damage while you're using your stem, so which is your tactical. Currently, you take 20 HP each time you use the stem, and if you have this perk active, you would only take 15 HP instead. So if you do the math, which I did, yeah, you have 100 HP, 100 health, and without this perk active, if you're using 20 health per stem, this means you could use the stem 5 times before you're at 1 HP. And with this perk active, it would take 6 stems for you to get to 1 HP instead. So this basically gives you an extra stem to use. Of course, no one is running around at 1 HP unless you're crazy, but that extra stem with less damage can be beneficial to flank a team or even get an advantage to escape as well. So keep that in mind that this is great for that situation. It will just give you that extra stem to have. Instead of losing 20 HP, you'll just lose 15 HP. Option 2, reckless. Take 25% less explosive damage. I do believe Fuse had this perk as well. This perk allows you to get flap jacket. Basically, I don't know if you played COD, you can understand that. It does give you slight protection from all explosive source. Now, I did mention that in the Fuse video that I did not see this as a viable perk for Fuse, but in the situation for Octane, this perk could be viable for him. So for example, let's say you're in a building and you know you're going to get beamed if you try to stem and run out. This perk could save you by tanking a grenade spam if they start throwing grenades. It could save you in a situation like that. That's the only reason I could see it. Or even just you're trying to get away from a grenade and you just barely get out of the range of the radius of it, and it gives you that slight delay to just avoid getting knocked. But of course, it is very situational with this perk active. I think this perk would probably be a little bit better if it protected you from the effects of the grenade as well. For example, like thermite burns and arc stuns. Then I could probably see this perk being a little bit more viable, especially for Octane, since you sometimes are going to be running with slight less health than someone who's at 100 HP all the time. All right, so let's take a look at level 3 upgrades for Octane. Option 1, airborne agility. Change directions with launchpad double jump. Now, if anyone plays on PC, you should know about tap strafing in Apex. Now, I know it was on controller as well, but I think they removed it. I'm not maybe someone can remind me as well in the comment section. I think they removed it from one of the configs on Steam. I think they removed that. I don't remember. I haven't looked at the news for it. But it's basically a movement. For anyone that doesn't know, actually, it's basically a movement tactic in which you can jump and change in any direction. It is a little bit easier to do on mouse and keyboard, obviously. But yeah, it just basically gives you that quick little change in direction. So basically this perk gives you that ability to do that while you're jumping on the launch pad. While it's not exactly tap strafing, this perk can give you the quick turn while you're trying to outmaneuver your opponent or jumping it into a location. I think the perk is a great addition to Octane since he's already a quick movement character. Also, when the launch pad comes out, it is a when it is active, keep in mind that it is a different color as well. I believe it's like a red jump pad instead. In the firing range, the extra movement did not seem game breaking or OP, but there is a small difference from having this perk active or not. Is it going to be game breaking? Probably not. I mean, maybe it could be if you combine it with some tap strafing from mouse and keyboard players. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe some mouse and keyboard players can let me know if they tested it out. Maybe they've tried a little tap strafe while in the air, maybe, or double tap strafe, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, when I tried this out, it was a quick directional change, but it wasn't as quick as I thought it would be. But it is there is a small difference from when you jump without it active and when you do jump on it with active. So you do feel the change in direction for sure, but it is not, again, it's not game breaking. Option 2, gain an extra launch pad charge. So this perk here, I think is probably the best perk that Octane can have, and it's crazy to even think about how they added this. So this perk is great for any Octane player that wants to just get in fights and get in there quick, or wants to third party another team. With this, you can get there in a heartbeat. This perk will give you 2 launch pads to use while you're in a match. And keep in mind that the cooldown for these launch pads are 1.5 minutes per launch pad. So every 3 minutes, you'll always have 2 launch pads ready to go. Now, in my opinion, I think this is great. Whether, again, if you want to chase a team or you want to chase that last one that got away, you can easily catch up to them with double jump pads, especially if you time it right. Or you can run away from a team as well. They will not catch up to you unless they have another Octane as well. Then it'll be 2 Octanes chasing each other. But yes, 100%, this is great to escape for sure. It will give you that advantage, to be quick and get long distances for rotations as well. For any rotation you have to do, it will be advantageous for sure. I did do the testing in the firing range, and then you do get some major distance if you time it correctly. So I timed them in a line almost. So I threw one, ran, and then I threw the next one as I slid in, and then I just double jumped again. So if you time it correctly, you'll get a lot of distance. You can get to a lot of places pretty quick. And also, if you have this active, it's also great for your team as well. So keep that in mind that, you know, your team will also be able to jump around in there with you. So great to have for that. All right, so my final verdict on Octane and which 2 perks to go with as a default choice, almost, you know, the best combo. I think the best combo would be Thick Skin and Mad Hops. The reason I say this is because Thick Skin gives you that protection when you're using your stem, and obviously your stem is essential to having the quick speed and the quick movement to be able to maneuver your opponent or even just get out of situations as well. So that protection to have, taking less HP damage from your stem is a better option than the second option, which was the explosive damage. I do see that. I just see this being more advantageous for Octane. And obviously the second option, Mad Hops, is the next choice because it is just a better option to have for yourself and your teammates when having 2 launch pads. So again, like I said, I see this better for the team than just having something just for you. Right. This will give your team the ability to rotate and have a quick escape, you know, both for long distances as well. So I think ultimately anyone who plays Octane, I would ultimately go with Thick Skin and Mad Hops as the best options. And I think you would be a very great player if you use these 2 options, especially if you practice the timing of those launch pads like I mentioned. But yeah, well, there it is, everyone. That is all the details on Octane and how each perk can benefit you or not while you're in the game. I appreciate everyone that stopped by to check out the video. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to check out all uploads, shorts, and streams. I will be continuing to the next legend, Revenant, in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, never stop gaming. Amaru out. Peace.